I was actually born in Phoenix, and my mother and father were out of the Dust Bowl of Oklahoma and Texas. And my father was a traveling man, and we lived in a lot of different places when I was a child growing up. And
when did you move to California?
Moved to California in, let's see, I went to high school in Pomona, and that's when I moved to California, and in 1949. 48, because I graduated in 50 from Pomona High School. And then actually I was coming here for vacationing right at that time, because my boyfriend at that time, and folks had a trailer down at Kersey's trailer park, you know, and
on Lido Peninsula.
Lido Peninsula. So that was really fun. And then when we got married really young, right out of high school, and he was going to Cal Poly, and so we had our trailer, so we moved up to Cal Poly in the winter, and then down here, so just was a very short time later, we're moving to the beach full time. And been here ever since, except a short time in Costa Mesa.
So you moved to Newport Beach in 1960, I think you said?
1950 I was coming here vacationing. By 54 I was living here permanently.
Okay, and where did you live at that time?
I bought a little house on 40th Street.
Okay.
Because it was a very good thing, I was told, to own a home.
So you guys must have been married for over 60 years. I'm doing the math in my head here.
Yeah, no, actually we had married in what year were we married? Oh, you keep track of it. 61.
Oh, 1961.
We were married in 61.
So you lived in this house by yourself then, on 40th Street?
No, I was with my first husband.
Oh, your first husband. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then you got a new husband. So okay, great.
Well, no, it's difficult to get all this down.
Oh, I know. Yeah, well, my sisters both had trial.
No, we've been married 59 years.
Okay, well, okay.
And, yeah.
Okay, what was your maiden name, by the way?
It was Reese, R-E-E-S-E.
R-E-E-S-E, okay. And so in 1961, that's when you moved to Newport Heights then? Or somewhere around
1961, we're about back into Newport Heights.
Okay, and that was?
On Clay Street.
On Clay and Santa Ana, okay. And you said you could see the ocean from your home at the time.
No, I misspoke if I said that. Actually, that's where we bought, how much, $12,000? $12,000, bought that house for $12,000. And a few years later, the sporting goods store got sold, and we moved around the corner and to the corner of Broad and Redlands, because I really just wanted to see the water so much.
And that had the view of that house?
Yes, that house.
Okay. Now, when did you start the sporting goods store?
57, I believe it was.
So that was before you were married?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and that was in Costa Mesa on Newport Boulevard, okay. And so, I mean, you're famous in Newport because you were politically active for so many years. So I guess let's get to the meat of the matter. How did that get started? How did you start getting involved in community activism and politics and running for office and things like that?
Well, everybody has a story, you know that. And my story is, when we were in sporting goods business, I was their sanitation engineer. What that means, I got to dust everything, of course. But we also needed bike trails, and I was very did a little bit of organizing, a couple other bike shops and that sort of things. He did a good business in bikes. Organized a little bit on that, and I decided, you know, I should serve on the Park, Beach, and Recreation Commission. So, and they put me on. That was very, very nice.
And what year was that?
78, 74.
74. So that was in the days of maybe Jackie Heather, or?
We served together.
Or?
We served together.
Okay.
So, just in fact, Jackie and I went on the council the same year, in 78.
Okay.
So anyway, this is how I got involved with politics.
Was the mayor then, wasn't he?
He was, indeed.
Okay, I remember him, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that's when we started making some changes and some financial things for the city too. But so anyway, I'm on the park commission, and so I go to the mayor, and I say, Don McInnes, we need some new carpet over at the recreation building.
Okay.
And he had the nerve to say to me, if you want new carpet, you go get it. And I said, oh, well, I will. So I ran for city council, I won, and we got new carpet for the Park Beach and Recreation. And so I was on there for 16 years, which was a long time, and I did indeed have an opportunity to work with the ones that you just mentioned. Jackie Heather, we were on there 2 years. Jackie went in as mayor, and I was vice mayor, and then 2 years later I was mayor for 2 years, and so, yeah, those were changing times a little bit. Before that, the city of Newport Beach never took any government money, certainly nothing from the federal government. I don't know if you remember that sort of thing or not. So with working around that, we got some interesting things. We got the Oasis Center, where it came from HUD money from, and the property. The freeway was taking a big drive to move a freeway down through Newport and Corona del Mar. And so we were able to buy the property there where the freeway was getting not well received in the community. So we were fighting that.
Well, that was a big reason, I think, why
Yeah.
Rykoff got elected, because he was active in stopping that, I think.
Who was that?
Paul Rykoff.
Oh, Paul Rykoff was,
that.
right, he was not an environmentalist so much, but he was very conservative on what you did and didn't do in a city.
But I remember it was around 1970 or so when they were protesting the freeway, because I remember I was in high school then and
Right.
involved with that a little bit. So what year were you mayor exactly? Do you remember?
Yes, 83, 84.
Newport Beach, the council elects the mayor from within their ranks, and I guess it's pretty much always been that way. Do you agree with that, or like Costa Mesa has gone to having a separately elected mayor? I think Santa Ana does too. Do you favor that sort of approach, or do you like the idea of rotating it within council?
I really like that they do rotate. Maybe it's because that's the way I did it, but it seems like that.
Everyone gets a chance to.
It seems like the mayor then only has one vote,
Yeah.
and see if they're directly elected, they have power to do more things because that's just the way it comes
So
down.
you like a little more shared power then.
Yeah.
That's a good. And then you went to the assembly too, didn't you? Or you ran. I remember there was something there, and I don't remember.
Oh, you're breaking my heart. Yes, I did run. I did take Newport,
Okay.
but I only ended up with like 45% of the vote. I ran against an incumbent.
And that was in a primary?
It was a primary, yeah.
Okay.
Evelyn Hart for
In Ferguson.
Okay.
In Ferguson, he won handedly.
Now,
And,
he was an incumbent, so you were running against him as he was
Right.
an incumbent, okay.
And
I'm sure I voted for you back then, so.
I took Newport. I was thinking,
And
well,
what
say
year was that? Was that 84, 86, somewhere around there?
84, 86. Let's see that. 84. Yeah, it had to be right in there, didn't it? Yeah.
I still.
I don't know. I don't remember a lot of that stuff because I don't pay attention to it. But
I have in my garage. I have a bunch of bumper stickers on the wall, and I have one of your bumper stickers. Here. I
that's so cute.
do. So that was sad that you lost that. You didn't try running again.
No, that wasn't anything I did. I was able to get appointed though to a couple really. I have kind of a little passion for water, clean water, and that sort of thing. So Pete Wilson appointed me first to the Board of Behavioral Science for 4 years, and then he, after that, when I continued to show an interest, I got to fill in 4 years in the State Water Quality Board.
Board of what? Board of what science? I'm sorry.
Or the Board of Behavioral Science.
Behavioral science. Okay.
So it's got to do that for 4 years.
And then the water board.
And then the State Water Board, Santa Ana region.
Okay. And okay, I heard it said that no mayor of Newport Beach has ever successfully gotten elected to the assembly or gone to Sacramento. I don't know if that's totally true or not, but I guess you tried. So
I tried.
so yeah. But we can't convince you
Well,
to run again sometime. Huh?
When you're running from a really large district like that is, South County and all, Costa
We'll see
Mesa,
if
Huntington
Diane can
Beach
make
and
it
all
this
that, it's also hard to get money to
Yeah.
run.
So, yeah, money is always the key to politics, and so what did you do with regard to fundraising in those days?
Well, I am so lucky. You know what? I have all these gal friends. And these gal friends said, you've got to run, you've got to run. He's not doing anything for education. So the last day we go down and file. They run my campaign for me. There's 8 of them. We have our picture taken together. And they march me around, doing this and doing that. Ringing doorbells and all that.
You did sort of a door-to-door campaign then for most of the time then?
We sure did.
Personal touch. Who were some of the women that were on this committee?
Oh, half of them are dead. Ruth Ellen Plummer, she served on the city council. Jackie was there. There was, we never got Marion to serve on it, but I took a lot of pictures with her because she was very popular.
Yeah.
And Janie Arnold, Christy McDaniel, let's see, a couple other gals that are passed away. And I'd have to go look at their pictures now to, if you don't think about those things for a long, long time, they're not.
When I was student teaching.
I didn't do, it was actually after that when I was doing more environmental work and more nonprofits, but I was pretty busy, and I was serving president of the League of California Cities here in Orange County, and then state league director on that. All I did was just run around to a bunch of stuff. Lots of boards and passion. We started up the Braille Institute for Children, Orange County.
Well, your husband said earlier that he likes you on committees, so it keeps you out of his hair. Is that right?
So, what's current, huh?
I remember when back in those days, I was student teaching at Harbor High, and I had Marion's kids in my class. So James, and Julie, I think was one of the daughters. Anyway,
They finally got that guy that killed. Julie didn't kill Julie. She's doing really well. I talk to her occasionally.
Yeah, that was sad. Well, so then, how long? When did you stop being on the council?
84.
Oh, so you were only on for.
Wait a minute, 94. Excuse me.
So you were on for about 10, 12 years.
16.
16 years. Okay. So I guess they have term limits now, don't they? But,
They sure do.
but they don't have it now.
By popular demand, I stepped down.
Yeah, I don't know.
She's the reason.
If you get somebody good in there, I'd like to keep them in a few more years, but anyway.
She's the reason for term limits.
Oh, you were the reason for term limits?
Maybe, I don't know. I didn't know. Well, thank
I
you.
mean, were you advocating for that, or?
I was not opposed to it.
Okay. Okay, so, okay, so then, and now you guys talked about your boats earlier, so how many boats have you had over the years?
I could not tell you. Maybe Mr. Hart could. But he's very addictive.
A lot of them.
Yeah, very addictive to trying out a new boat for a few years.
Okay. And you prefer power boats, or you like sailboats?
I loved to sail until I got a little off balance.
Okay, but nowadays you're thinking about a Duffy, huh?
Yes.
Okay. Not to be political about it, but.
There's some pictures on the wall of some of the boats.
Number boats, yeah.
Okay. And then how many kids have you had?
We have 4.
4 kids, and so they all went to Harbor High School at Harbor?
To Harbor? Okay, they all went to Harbor.
And what year did they go through school there?
Gosh, oh well, let's see, stop and think.
They probably went to Newport High.
Well, they're in their 60s now,
Yeah, okay, so they're my age.
So, yeah.
So
When
they
did you
probably
go?
went
When did you go?
Did they go to Newport Heights Elementary and then Ensign? probably?
Newport Heights, Horace Ensign, as our grandkids did, a number of them. And, yeah.
And what do you think is the best part about Newport Beach?
I always say it's probably the recreational aspects of it. When you take in the boating or the swimming, just the water itself is just so important. And the weather, oh my gosh, sitting here with the prevailing wind off the ocean, what could be, more important than that to a person's soul. The
We're
it,
bitter winners when it gets down to
and
60 degrees.
it still has a feel of community, you know. No matter where my friends live and throughout Newport or other cities, Newport is just always like home.
What do you think are the biggest problems the city has?
Well, you know, it just depends on what year it is. I mean, look at the environmental concerns that we've had on growth, and that's growth, traffic. My husband would say noise on Coast Highway, and you know, and I'm a little bit in that camp too. I just don't want to overbuild our city, and I've gotten in trouble a few times on the city. Unfavorable comments back to me when I was not interested in voting for variances, that sort of thing. You know, I said, and this one, and actually it was Gil Ferguson. He said, "I know why you're voting against that." And I said, "No, I'll tell you why I'm voting against it. If a lot's too small for you for what you want to build, why did you buy the lot?" I guess I just, you know, some of the mansions we have going in are interesting, aren't they? And which, there's nothing wrong with
What's
that,
happening
being
in
wealthy.
this neighborhood, so.
It is happening, yeah. But yeah, we're pretty lucky here in our beach house.